So we're back with a brand new game. This is Guess Who, the card game, but this is the one themed over the Office. You have Office character like Dwight, Michael, and Pam. Let's open this up, talk a little bit more about the game. So a lot of us probably from our childhood remember Guess Who as being that straightforward game with little boards with the faces, and then you're supposed to find out who your character is compared to the other person, and basically say, oh, that's who you are, and that's how you won the game by figuring it out by asking questions. This is just a tiny bit different. It's not hilarious. The main difference between this game and the old game, however, is that there is no actual hard metal or plastic frame for all the characters to be in, and instead of flipping them down, you just flip the cards over. It allows there to be a lot less accessories in the game besides just the actual cards, which is pretty cool. So in the game, you're going to have 3 decks. You're having a red deck, a blue deck, and a yellow deck. The yellow deck represents the mystery cards. That is the players that you're going to play as and have people try to guess who you are, whereas the blue and red deck will represent the players' boards. So hypothetically speaking, you can just lay out the characters on the board to build your little grouping of cards. And then however you want to set that up. And then let's push it forward a little more. Oh, Angela has her cats. That's adorable. Perfect. And so on this run, people are going to then take these cards, shuffle them up, and they will take from the deck a character that they'll be. So for instance, my character is Daryl, and then someone else's character would be Kevin. But hypothetically speaking, if I'm Daryl, I'm going to place the card after I look at it face down so the person can't see it, and they're going to ask me yes or no questions. And the yes or no question is going to note which cards get flipped. So for instance, you could ask the question of, do they wear a tie or do they not wear a tie? Are they male or are they female? Do they have long hair or short hair? And then you can use those to basically flip over cards as seen fit. You could ask questions if you know the game really well, the players. Were they from the original season, or were they added on in a later season? And you can flip cards over on that one. You could say, have they ever been a manager, or were they just sales, and things like that to flip these over. I would be careful, make sure you're playing with someone who knows the show as well as you do before you ask questions like that, because it might hurt the gameplay a little bit. But you can kind of throw a little bit of that in just because of the fact that this is a show that you know a lot more about. They might as well, and then you can kind of play with the board because of that. Additionally, it is with usually 2 boards, so you have 2 people, so you flip them over one by one, taking questions each time. But like hypothetically speaking, if they were to say, "Oh, is your character a female?" and you'd go, "No," and you go, "Okay, so goodbye Phyllis, bye bye Kelly, bye bye Meredith, bye bye Pam, bye bye Angela, bye bye Erin." Bye-bye, Jan. And so now you have these characters here. And you could ask a question like, were they ever fired from the paper company at Dunder Mifflin? And they go, yes. Go, okay, if they were ever fired from it, then it wouldn't be Dwight or Stanley or Oscar or Ryan. No, Ryan was fired. And then Daryl wasn't fired. Toby wasn't fired. Creed wasn't fired. Roy wasn't fired, I don't think. He said on the show. Andy, Roy, he wasn't fired. He quit. So yeah, so these ones would still be standing as people that were fired. So weren't fired? Alright, I'm forgetting. But regardless, the idea being is you've limited your pile down, and then you're like, okay, did this person ever have a will they, won't they, with a character on the show? And you'd go, no, they didn't. So you can get rid of Gabe because of his relationship with Aaron. Then you have Andy, get rid of them. You get rid of Ryan with Kelly. You get rid of Michael. You can get rid of Jan. And now you have Toby, Creed, and Kevin. And then you can ask a question like, do they work in HR? I go, oh, yes. And then you get rid of these two and you know it's Toby. At any time, if you think you know the character, you can guess it and then pick that character. But this isn't my character. I'm just saying hypothetically speaking. But yeah, so it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to set up and organize, and pretty easy to pick up. The biggest part of it is going to be, of course, the setting up the two different teams on the table. But if you're a big fan of The Office, if you're a big fan of Guess Who, this is a nice way of playing the game and keeping it kind of fun. Well, hopefully you guys found this interesting. Hopefully you guys pick this up for yourself, and we will see you guys next time.